To be strong means having the ability to withstand pain and unpleasantness. Although this one is quite possibly the most discussed part about being strong in today's generation, it is still the most reluctantly and underwhelmingly practiced by the lot of us. We all react to painful events and unpleasant circumstances differently. Most of us complain, blame, and condemn others, through refusing to accept failures and uncontrollable unfortunate events damaging our fantastical ideals, ego investments, and cognitive biasness. Those with strength develop the response of both acceptance and indifference towards dire circumstances. Being able to peacefully understand that you can't redo what already happened or can't control what comes with the circumstance, and that your only course of action is to either live with it or do your best to make it better for you to live with. It's obvious, isn't it? If you can't change it or solve it, either deal with it or live with it. React in such a way that bad circumstances can have a neutral or net positive impact on you, not in a way that will make it even worse and more unbearably arduous. Having the ability to defend oneself. Learning self-defense is quite essential for anyone looking to build confidence and, more importantly, to stand up for oneself. Self-defense not only applies to your physicality but your mentality as well, building the necessary amount of courage to retaliate against constant disrespectful behaviors and any attempts from anyone to put harm on your well-being. However, that being said, self-defense also involves you being able to not carelessly put yourself in any situation that significantly jeopardizes your safety. No matter how physically imposing you are, how competent you are in martial arts, or how courageous you are in confrontations, the world is unanimously unfair, and any righteous, virtuous, and noble values you have will all be thrown out of the window by others when push comes to shoves. There is a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and that fine line is understanding the difference of what is worth it and what is necessary. Don't pointlessly sacrifice your precious life or those around you for the mere reason to prove your valorousness in front of a dozen unethical thugs, unless it is utterly critical for you to do so for the betterment of your circumstances and also of those around you. Having the ability to protect and provide for your loved ones. The quality of strength innately breeds the quality of resourcefulness and reliability. Or in other words, those who possess strength have the leadership and empathetic responsibility to be the ones that their loved ones, both best friends and family, can lean on in times of distress and/or look up to in moments of uncertainty. Those who feel vulnerable, confused, or in disarray will naturally seek some form of structure, reassurance, and direction from those with purpose. The captain of the ship, the general in the army, the shepherd of the herd, those with a plan and destination in mind. But with every plan and destination comes an array of obstacles, mishaps, and problems that tag along in the journey. And effectively solving problems require you to have a fine-tuned dexterity, intuition, resilience, and a fair amount of experience. And these attributes do not come to be at your disposal by themselves. Which brings me to having the ability to commit and constantly learn. Whether it comes to business skills, practical skills, social skills, or even a craftsmanship, competency is a quality that comes from continuous practice, pig-headed determination, and relentless development. Most people recognize these terms like the back of their hands, but they either couldn't bring themselves to demonstrate these qualities, or these qualities were simply too much for them to handle initially. Competency in any field requires a huge amount of time and effort to be allocated in order to be acquired, and that requires a lot of sacrifice on our end in terms of our usual comfort-seeking lifestyle, where we forego any commitment and settle for indecisiveness and/or quick contentment instead. If you want to be a capable individual or a proficient individual, one where people will look for you or rely on you for both commendable and reciprocal assistance, you must allocate your lifestyle more towards the pursuit of excellence in all crucial areas of life rather than towards the idleness of mediocrity or inferiority that most of you are complaining about but still refuses to change. Having ability to control impulses. Many of us have said this before, and I will say it again on behalf of them here. Being vulnerable does not equal to strength. Weakness does not equal to strength. There is absolutely no effort exerted in being weak and vulnerable. Vulnerability and weakness involves letting our emotional impulses dictate our thoughts and actions because we made the foolish decision to let them loose. Strength involves us resisting, withstanding, and mastering those impulses which will prevent us from acting inappropriately and jeopardizing ourselves and other people. Criminals like school shooters, rapists, and mass murderers are the weakest of all individuals. They are hopelessly unable to control their impulses of rage, lust, despair, and vengeance. Even Mike Tyson said it himself.
And the reason why people go to jail because they don't have the shit in check and they can't manage their life. So that don't mean you're a bad guy because you're in jail. It means you're pretty much a dysfunctional, weak individual and can't manage your life outside in the world.
Having the ability to take initiative. Whether it is the fear of embarrassment during failure or the fear of immense responsibility during success, or both, everything has a price to pay. We all love to sit on our asses and just visualize how great our lives would be if we could all have the things that we desire. However, following that pretentious roleplay, we then make silly excuses for ourselves of why we are not making any moves and taking any action to get any closer to that life. It is a very simple principle. If you want something, then go for it. Create that opportunity because it's the only way. Or you can wait for it to magically appear in front of your corpse or graveyard one day. You choose. Most of us amplify the worries of failure, which makes us hesitant to even take the first step because we're so afraid of taking losses or not living up to our own expectations. What if? What if? What if? Okay, then stay where you are for the rest of your life, never getting the chance to even find out. Instead of telling yourself, what if, tell yourself, fuck it. Having the ability to let go. This ties in very well with the first point, but here I want to talk about letting go of the past that is disturbing you until this very day. Whether it is a pleasant memory or a tragic memory that you either want to desperately relive or turn back time to prevent respectively, they all are fragments of your previous life. Time will never stop, people will always change, and circumstances will be different. Holding on will only prevent you from creating newer or better memories and experiences, and you will only waste your time trying to seek the time stone. And worse, bringing along past baggage to new people that you're going to meet in your life will only bring out your insecurities and make people feel their presence individualistically unappreciated or utilized like an idle emotional tampon. They want to get to know you while you want to pour your self-pity on them and get free validation that is reluctantly given. Life goes on, so go along with it. Don't get left behind and trapped within the impotence of your own exhausted fantasy. And let's be honest, what kind of person who constantly talks about their exes or endlessly lament about the tragic death of their dog is ever a pleasant or inspiring person to have as company? Just piss off, mate. And finally, having the ability to believe. And no, I'm not talking about believing the utterly impossible like bringing people back from the grave in one piece, but about the realistically plausible like achieving your ambition to become a filmmaker, for example. I'd say this is the one quality that vividly separates those who are strong and those who are weak in today's age. Because being able to create or possess a strong belief system will inevitably remove the limit of the estimation of both physical and mental capabilities that one initially places over oneself. Whatever form of belief that you practice and instill, always make sure that it aligns with the reality that you are facing or about to face, so that you don't fall into the delusion of impractical guidance. As cliché, cinematic, and repetitive as it may be, a person with a do-or-die and never-give-up attitude will always make it far further in life than a person who always resolved to immediately folding when he is given a bad hand. A person who plays the game will always receive more rewards despite the failures from that game than those who entirely refuse or avoid playing the game. As you gentlemen might have noticed, I started each point with the word ability, not talent or gift. Because for most of us, strength is always required to be constantly cultivated, not innately born with or gifted. Thank you for watching.